All right, welcome to Buck Don't Know Shit. It is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day in Texas. Like, they have been just wonderful. Like, past few days I've been home. Haven't been able to get much accomplished, not really. Since I've been home, been busy, and I'm only home a few days. And anyway, I don't want to complain about it because I'm happy to be home and, like enjoying it. But have not been able to get a lot done on the car. So today, I think I'm gonna start putting this steering column back in the car. Now I am electing to do my steering column first. I have seen guys put them in after the dash is in, and it probably is easier to get the dash in that way. It probably is, but it's harder to get the steering wheel column in. And I do think there are some parts of the mechanism, the sliding mechanism, that may be attached to the dash somehow, but I think most of it hangs from that brake bracket. So we'll figure all that out. I know I can get the steering wheel column itself in place without the dash, because that's how I took it out. I took the dash out first. Steering wheel column came out not last, but almost last. It was, one of the last things I took off the Firewall. AC plenum was the last thing. So I'm kind of going back in the order that I took things out. That is my reasoning anyway, how I'm rationalizing doing it that way. Plus my dash isn't ready, so I got to do some repairs on it. It's down there. I am ready to get that sucker off the floor and in the car though, get it out of the way. Okay, so I had this sucker in the car, almost bolted up. See, I got my little bracket and everything here, and where's the little sliding mechanism right there? I actually had it bolted in there, but my actual steering wheel shaft would not, it just wouldn't line up with the rag joint. So got the feeling around, and the rag joint seems oriented wrong. And I could have sworn that I centered this power steering box before I put it in the car and put the rag joint on it, actually. But it doesn't line up with my steering wheel. The steering wheel has a notch on it, which I can show you here. Oh. And this, at the end of the day, this doesn't matter 100%, but you just want things right when you're putting them in. That's the way it's supposed to orient. The way the rag joint is now, it would have to sit like that. So I either have my rag joint in wrong, or my power steering pump's not centered. Kind of need to know that before I go putting this in the car. So tomorrow, I'm done working today. Let's see, I got all that. It was quite a project today, finding all these little parts and looking at old videos and pictures and trying to figure out exactly how all this went together. And there's a lot of little washers and springs and kind of unique bolts and different things that you got to find, and it took me a minute, let's just put it that way. But I think I got it, and have found everything so far, and this does fit. It goes in, so all that's good. But I have to figure this power steering pump out, and the orientation of it. I just want to make sure it's centered right. And if it is centered and that's how the rag joint sits, then my steering wheel shaft mark will just be off. I could sit here and pull on the wheels, but I want to bottom that out. I think it's 2.5 turns or 2 3/4 turns centers it. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna center it again. So to do that, I've got to undo my tie rod, basically. A couple bolts, I'll probably undo it there, and I may just undo this one, let it hang. That'd probably be the easiest thing. So yeah, I'm gonna do that in the morning, center this up, take the rag joint off if I need to, orient it correctly, because I want it right. So, okay, so I bottomed the rag joint out, turned it all the way to, I guess I went clockwise with it, but it doesn't matter. You turn it till it stops, and then you turn it back the opposite direction, 1 3/4 turns, and that should be centered. And see, now my star head bolt is pointing up, and I believe I feel yeah, it feels like it is in more of the right position now. So that's good. I guess at some point installing this, I might have moved the fitment arm or something, you know, a little bit, and maybe it just wasn't. It probably would have been all right, because yeah, I think it would have been all right. But regardless, I know I'm in the right position now. So get in there. I gotta get somebody to come help me, because this, gotta have somebody in the car kind of holding this end up while you stab this bracket, you know, in where it goes. And then once it gets in place, it all lines up pretty nice. It's not that hard. It still looks a little off. Well, look at that. That's actually, it doesn't, that looks like it's gonna be about right. Yeah, you see I'm more or less pointed up there on my notch. You can see it. Look down there, and my shaft is, I was thinking it was full 180 out that flat, but it's not. That looks like that is gonna line up real damn close anyway. All right, that makes me feel good. Let me go wake somebody's ass up. Come help me. See who my victim is gonna be this morning. Well, I woke up my favorite kid, Jack, there, and went ahead and we knocked this out together. Get that light out of the way. I mean, I'm not 100% buttoned up, but the tricky part, now that I have everything lined up correctly, got my steering wheel shaft to go into the rag joint. So I've got one bolt started down there on the, I guess, hinge bracket that holds the steering wheel column in place, and I'll get the other one on the other side, and yeah, start buttoning this thing up. So, all right, I'm probably getting kicked off too. Got music playing in the background. I don't know why my phone doesn't stop playing music like it used to. Anyway, last day home. Probably only gonna work a few hours today. I'm thinking 5, 4, 5, 6, 2, I don't know, something like that. Football's on Sunday, gonna cook. Yeah, just stay busy. I don't know, we'll see what we get done. Today we are continuing on working, putting things back in the car. See over there, got a steering column. Yeah, so I actually got, it was a good project yesterday. I got my steering wheel shaft notch, the notch on the end of it aligned correctly. It is pointing up whenever the wheels are centered and the way it's supposed to be. So now when I'm actually adjusting the, I don't know, is that the toe in and out? I'm doing my hands like this. On the wheels, I will know, you know, my steering wheel is centered. I'll be able to see that now. So yeah, I just wanted to button up a few things like that yesterday. I got all my tie rod and everything, steering linkage, I guess, hooked back up, and cotter pins in. So everything is complete on that again. So I'm good to go there. Good to go in here. Got everything hooked up, got my transmission linkage hooked up. That was easy. Actually, still had all the parts for that. The project that I'm dreading, which I got to do this morning, is that boot around the bottom of the steering wheel column. It's not going to be fun. It's like 6 bolts, and you got to go through the boot, through the metal plate, through the insulation, and into the firewall. And you got to line up all these pre-drilled holes. Of course, everything except for the insulation was there already, so those will line up. Just getting it through that damn insulation is not gonna be fun. So I just realized something, and I could make it work the way it is, but it ain't gonna look right. I've got my metal plate on the wrong side of the boot, and I have it upside down. So, I mean, I could self-tap through that and make it work, but it's not gonna look right. So I am about to pull this steering column back out and get that arranged correctly and put this sucker back in. There is another thing I didn't like, and I'm gonna try to fix it while I have it out, but the retainer, this bracket down here, which you can't see, I don't have light, but you know, it's got those square nuts in them that have the keepers. Well, the keeper on this one over here was not keeping, so it was kind of spinning in the car a little bit. Hopefully I can get it back out and it's not too tight, because that will yeah, throw a kink in thing. Okay, we're back to where we were. Got the steering column out, got my boot and metal plate for the boot in the right position. Actually, this bolt on this back side, the keeper was fine, but it had slid down and was actually, you know, it felt like it was threading in, and it was kind of threading on top of that little keeper. So basically I didn't have it in there, and I've found on this side this time, I guess I got lucky last time, but actually I had to lift up on this side a little bit, because that keeper slides up and down a good probably 3/8 of an inch, and you can get that bolt on top of it. Just saying, just be careful, and if it doesn't feel like it's tightening down, it's probably not in the hole. So it's all snug now. You just got to fight it. Actually, on this one over here, I had to use this little tool to lift up on the nut on one side and then stab the bolt in on the other side. It's not easy, lots of cussing, and but we got it eventually. So yeah, I'm back here. All I have to do now is button down the boot, and I got a ground wire I got to make and put on there because mine was broken. So little ground that goes from like the steering wheel column to the firewall. So I'll make that, go ahead and get that done and be done with the steering column project, just so I don't forget anything, you know what I mean? And yeah, might as well get everything done I can. And then I think I'm gonna try to run this wiring harness. All right, the boot is on, and on correctly, and got the holes lined up. It was basically got a couple of them started from the other side, lined everything up. Then the insulation, just the holes of it just don't quite line up. So I went through and drilled through the insulation and the rubber cover of the insulation with this, and the bolts pretty much lined up with the holes on the firewall, no problem. And used my little impact drill here, and they just went right in. It really wasn't that bad. And it is nice and secure now. I like it. So I'm gonna add my ground wire, and I think that is it. I believe that's all I got to do. Be gone for a couple of weeks. I do think when I get back, yeah, I think I'm getting close to putting this dash back in. And once the dash is back in, I think I'm gonna try to work on trying to get this engine running and get my brakes bled, stuff like that. So vacuum lines, I keep ignoring that little project. I got to do that soon. That's not hard. It's but there are some things to check and do. I gotta find my little, I think it's in one of those bins there, a little, like the brains of the vacuum system, little control there, control valve. So let me test that sucker out. That'll be fun. Yeah, we're just at the point now where as I'm putting stuff back in, I gotta test wiring. You know, I'm gonna have to test that vacuum system when I start getting stuff back in there. I did check all the little actuators, motors, vacuum canisters. They all work. Every one of them I put back in the car. So we're good there. You know, we haven't been like working on any like big projects where I can like go, today I'm gonna work on this. And it's more like, today I'm gonna wake up and just start putting stuff back on as it needs to be put back on. I don't know. I don't know. That's not a good title for a YouTube video, but that's pretty much what I have been doing. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just pretty much working through things and putting them back in the car as I can. And I'm probably going to be spending quite a bit of time this morning fixing this boot, sealing that up down there. So that's definitely not good YouTube footage, but, and no need to video that. So I feel like I'm skipping out on a lot of video footage lately. Haven't been running the camera a lot, but there's not really anything that y'all can learn from or that I feel like I need to share. And when I do find something, I do turn the camera on and talk about it a little bit. So these videos might not be the best, I guess what I'm getting at. But I'm going to continue showing things for continuity, and when we get back on some major projects, like one getting the engine running, probably do one on bleeding the brakes, and even though there's a lot of stuff out there on that, but probably will do it. Getting the dash back in, I will do that video. And got to do with wiring, got to redo my little blinker, sequential blinker thing. That'll probably be a video. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of footage, but it's like I don't have like a rear end to rebuild or power steering pump to rebuild, but I'm going to continue on just for continuity, have this car complete, like a whole video file of it, and then we'll move on to the next one, whatever that is. And there will be another one. There is going to be another one. But we got to get this one out of the garage first, because I don't have any more room to work on another one or anywhere to store another one. So yeah, one car at a time. That's all we can do here. All right, let me get to work, figure out what I'm going to do.